Question 5, part A for 4 marks. It is really very straightforward. I actually don't know why it is 4 marks. I'm a little bit confused by why it's 4 marks. I'm very confused by why it's 4 marks. But then again, yesterday we saw a 6 mark A math question that was entirely E math. So maybe we shouldn't be too surprised. Sometimes Cambridge just likes to give 3 marks. Now, what do we do here? So Morton asked me that question today. Not today, a few days ago. He asked me this question. He said this angle and this angle, are they angles in opposite segment? Obviously, they are angles in opposite segment. What do we call the shape ABCD here? There's a special name for this shape. What is it? Someone type the answer in the chat, please. What do we call this shape ABCD over here? And then I got students tell me their school teacher never tell them the name of this shape before, which I find hard to believe. So this is called a cyclic quadrilateral. Very good. What is a cyclic quadrilateral? A cyclic quadrilateral is a quadrilateral where all 4 vertices, that means all 4 points of the quadrilateral, lie on the circle. By lie on the circle, I mean lie on the circumference of the circle. So that is the definition of a cyclic quadrilateral. So some schools teach angles, opposite angles in cyclic quadrilateral. But for most of you, you should have learned that they are angles in opposite segment, right? But angles in opposite segment can only happen because you have a cyclic quadrilateral. So that is what the question requires. You need to make use of this cyclic quadrilateral to find angle BAD by finding angle BCD. And obviously, to find angle BCD, you should know that the intermediate angle you need to find is this angle. So the question to ask yourself is how to find this angle. First thing, always remember that in a circle, when you have a triangle inscribed with it from the center, you must always label the radius because it will always form an isosceles triangle. Okay, it will always form an isosceles triangle. So because it always forms an isosceles triangle, what can we do? We can first find this angle over here because they also gave you a tangent, right? So first things first, angle OBE is equal to 90 degree because tangent perpendicular radius, right? And then from there, once you have the 90 degree, you can find angle COB. So angle BOC is now equal to 180 minus 90 minus away the 36. And that's why they give you the 36. They give you the 36 so that you can find this angle over here. And so that will give you 54 degrees. So now that you know BOC is 54, you will now be able to find angle OCB. So angle OCB is equal to, by the way, I forgot to write the reason, angle sum of triangle OBE. Then angle OCB, therefore, is just 180 minus 54 divided by 2. Which will give me 63. So I will find that this angle is 63 degrees because base angles of isosceles triangle COB. right? And now we can find angle BAD. Therefore, angle BAD is equal to 180 minus 63 minus 43, which will give me 74 degrees. Now, again, I need to remind you, angles unit is not given. Please always make sure you write it. Then don't forget to write the reason. Angles in opposite segments. Segments cannot be short form. Please spell it out. Okay. So we are basically making use of the cyclic quadrilateral here. Next, they tell you that the radius of the circle is 8. Calculate the parameter of the shaded shape. So my shaded shape, which is basically the entire figure, so kind of strange, but I have this part over here. This is called a what? This is your major arc. I like how badly my device is lagging. So this is called a major arc. Then to find the total parameter, what else must I add? I must add the yellow line, right? So one yellow line here, and then one yellow line here. Can you tell me how to find the yellow lines, Elijah? What do I use to find the yellow lines? Obviously, I hope you know how to find the major arc. But how do I find the yellow lines?
Like what is it? Trigger of
Okay, by triangle ratio,
yeah.
Tuakaso. Why is it Tuakaso? Because you see right angle triangle, you should always resort to Tuakaso and not sine or cosine rule. Okay, we have the right angle triangle over there for a reason. Okay. So the radius of the circle is 8. Calculate the parameter of the shaded shape. You know, in the original question at the O levels, right? The diagram was on a different page. So students needed to flip here, flip there to go and look at the diagram. But the publisher now put it on the same page. Very nice. So what do I know? I know the radius is 8, right? And I know this angle is 54. So in order to find the major arc BADC, I need to find this angle. And so that's the first thing I should go about doing. Alternatively, some of you will tell me, I can just find the minor arc BC and then go and minus, right? Yes, you can. Also can, up to you. So I can find the major arc, or I can find the minor arc and then take the whole circle minus the minor arc, up to you. But I'm going to find the reflex angle, BOC. So reflex angle BOC is equal to 360 minus 54 to give me 306, because angle sum at a point. And therefore, major arc BADC is equal to, now this is where you all need to be careful. Your R theta formula only works for, R theta is for radian only. This is not radian. So this should be 306 out of 360 times pi R square, which will give me, you can just leave the answer in terms of pi, which is what I would do. I will not go and multiply it out usually. I will just leave it in terms of pi. So 54.4 pi. Okay. What did I do wrongly? I'm finding circumference. I go and square it for what? I'm funny. So it's times 8 times 2 because you need to find diameter. So it's not 2 square, it should be times 8 times 2. So I should get 13.6 pi. Okay, just leave it in terms of pi. Don't go and find the value because it makes things so much more complicated. Okay. So I have the major arc. Then I need to find the straight line BE first. I'm going to find BE. BE, I have OB, which is 8, right? So that is your tangent because opposite and adjacent. Okay. Alternatively, you can use your 36 degrees. I mean, technically speaking, it doesn't really matter whether you use 54 or you use 36. So tangent 54 degrees is equal to opposite, which is BE, over adjacent, which is 8. And therefore, BE is equal to 8 tangent 54 degrees. You can either leave it in this form, or you can go and multiply it out. Again, I have a habit of leaving it like that. I don't have a habit of going to multiply it out. For A-math students, I always advise you to leave it as this. For E-math, I think either one is fine, but I prefer to leave it in the exact form. Okay, but up to you. So here I'm just going to multiply it out, even though I said that normally I would have not. But I think most of you will have multiplied it out. So you leave your answer in 5SF because it's a working step only. Then same logic, right? I need to find OE. So if I want to find OE, OE is my hypotenuse. So it doesn't matter whether I use sine or I use cosine. So I'm just going to use sine over here. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So it will be sine 36 degrees equals to opposite, which is OB, over hypotenuse, which is OE. And therefore, OE is equal to 8 over sine 36 degrees, which will give me 13.610 in 5SF. Now, remember, we don't want OE. What do we want? We want CE. And therefore, CE is just 13.610 minus 8 to give me 5.610. And therefore, your total parameter is equal to 13.6 pi plus 11.011 plus 5.610. Leave your answer to 3SF. Okay, so just directly leave your answer to 3SF. Should be 59.3, I think. Okay,